good evening and a warm welcome to all. Campaigns. Campaigns are more than just promotional tools, they're the bridge that connects brands and audiences, weaving stories that solve real problems and spark meaningful connections. The key to success lies in making strategies that feel really personal and authentic, resonating deeply with the ever changing aspirations and emotions of people around us. As we gather here today to explore the ad campaign strategies on Google and Meta to drive conversions, we'll uncover the innovative tools and techniques shaping the future of digital marketing. I, Reshma Rohida, on behalf of iVipnan, am honored to guide you all through this panel discussion and will discuss the strategies that makes campaigns impactful. After 6 successful years, iVipnan proudly celebrates 7th Digital Marketing Day Surat. So guys, let me introduce you all to the organizer of the event, iVipnan, the pioneer of digital marketing training and consultation in South Gujarat. With a strong reputation built over many years, iVipnan has been in the forefront of providing comprehensive digital marketing solutions globally. It catalyzes success in helping your businesses grow sustainably on a global level. So, yes, moving ahead as we begin the event, I would like to thank our supporting partners, the Indian Society for Training and Development ISTD Surat Chapter, SR Luthra Institute of Management Surat, BV Patel Institute of Management, Uka Tarsaria University, Bardoli, Vidya Bharati Trust College, Umrak, Department of Business and Industrial Management, Surat, Sardar Vallabhbhai Global University, Rachnatmakam, Progress Alliance, PP Savani University, and Surat ITHR community. I thank all our supporters. So, moving ahead, this discussion will go into actionable strategies for creating impactful ad campaigns on Google and Meta to drive measurable results. So, now, without wasting any time, I'll introduce our esteemed panelist and moderator for the evening. Our first panelist for the day is Miss Dipali Nair, Group CMO of CK Birla Group, leads marketing for the USD 3 billion conglomerate. Previously, she held leadership roles at IBM, IIFL Wealth, and Mahindra Holidays with a career spanning Tata Motors, HSBC, and Marico. A recognized marketer, she has won Economic Times Most Promising Tech Marketer Award and features in Impact's 50 Most Influential Women in Media and Marketing. She holds the podcast Being CEO with Dipali Nair and teaches at SP Jain, MICA, and IIM Kozhikode. We welcome you, Dipali.
Thank you.
Our second panelist for the day is Mr. Varun Trivedi. He's an Associate Director of Product Marketing at Cash Free Payments, brings nearly a decade of experience in growth and product marketing. As co-founder of Icon Scout, he scaled the design resource platform to over 5 million users before its acquisition by Lottie Files in 2021. At Cashfree, he drives growth for the flagship collection suite in India's fintech ecosystem. He also leads Go PMM, a community promoting awareness and education in product marketing. We welcome you, Varun.
Thank you so much, Reshma.
The panelist is Miss Neha Saxena, Marketing Head, Acacia. She is an innovation-driven leader with 17 years of experience in marketing, merchandising, and digital transformation across FMCG, e-commerce, and media. She excels in crafting strategies that drive growth, enhance customer experience, and foster innovation. She's skilled in leading digital transformation and building ecosystems through collaborations with creators, influencers, and accelerators. Passionate about cultural change, she focuses on aligning engaged marketing communities with strategic goals. We welcome you, Neha.
Thank you. Thank you, Reshma. Hi, everyone.
And finally, the panel moderator of the day, Mr. Bhautik Sheth, who is the founder of iVipnan Digital Marketing Services. With over 17 years of expertise, he has trained 65,000 professionals and consulted 115 plus business globally and served as a visiting faculty at more than 20 universities. He is actively involved in leadership roles at organizations like SGCCI, ISTD, and academic boards across Gujarat. Under his leadership, iVipnan has won multiple awards, including recognition as one of the India's fastest growing agencies. We welcome you, Bhautik. Before proceeding, so attendees, this is for you. Please, if you have any questions, note them down. Note them down. We have a Q&A session at the end, or you can give out your questions in the comment box. We'll consider it whenever the session starts, question answer session starts. And also, guys, please stay with us till the end for the participation certificate. I think without wasting any time, we should start the panel discussion. Over to you, Bhautik.
Okay, thank you so much, Reshma, and I hope that I'm audible. Welcome you all of you, Varun, Neha, Deepali. Thank you once again, Reshma, for introducing us. And yes, this is the seventh year straight when we are celebrating Digital Marketing Day, and the things have changed in the last 6 years, and also in the seventh year. This we have seen that people are now talking a lot about digital. We have seen that now the investors are investing in so many startups that is related as an aid or the agencies as well. We have seen that now so many people they really want to learn digital marketing. Now we have seen that people are talking a lot about the certain technical jargons, and we are very happy to see all these changes that has taken place in India. And guys, because if we talk about the tier two cities, if we do not talk about the cities like Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, Bangalore, Pune, the tier two cities like Surat, even Indore, and if you go to this side, Nagpur and Kota, now the people are so much aware about all these things, and specifically the business owners, they really want to take the advantage of the digital platforms. As far as we are concerned, because we belong to the Surat city, city of Surat, we have seen so many textile industries, business owners, they have started their e-commerce platforms, and I think, Varun, you should look forward for the Surat because you are going to get a huge business from here. And I know that you might have so many clients already. But yeah, all the things we are going to consider later on. But to kickstart this particular panel, first of all, I'm putting this panel open for all of you, and because the theme of the day is the ad campaign strategies on Google and Meta to drive conversions. I want the opening statements from all of you, and I think we can start with Neha. Neha, your opening statement about the theme of the day.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity, Bhautik, and very well elaborated. These days, businesses are focused on driving a lot of business through campaigns. And if you look at it, the sales function has actually shifted to marketing, I would say, right? Because most of the sales is being driven online in case of small and medium enterprises, especially startups, where actually reaching out to your audiences digitally is so paramount. So I have worked across the globe. So I've worked for 8 years in Singapore, worked for a few years in Luxembourg, and this transition was coming to India. Slowly coming to India. But I saw this transition happening in a very big way in North Asia, say China, Taiwan, where back in 2013-14 itself, all the transactions were happening online. There was live selling on Taobao.com, JD.com, etc. Now that the ad campaigns have become the bread and butter of most businesses, think it is paramount to understand how we are targeting with them, how we are not just thinking of conversions, but also thinking about building brands. And lastly, about creating long lasting value for the customer. So, what is the kind of value addition that we are doing both in the B2B and the B2C space? Just as an introduction, while I was mentioned as the head of marketing for Acacia, actually I'm an independent consultant and I work as a fractional CMO for Acacia. So I work with many other startups too. But yeah, Acacia is something I'm quite passionate about. So that's my opening statement. So 3 points to focus on: brand management, like how you're building brand, are you delivering value to your customers, and finally, how do you scale it across in terms of both quality and quantity? So that's my take.
Great. So yes, we are going to look forward, Neha, to understand how to leverage the digital platforms not only for the conversion but also to build a brand. platforms. So that would be our agenda for you for the rest of the session. Yes, Varun, your opening statement, please.
Thank you so much, Bhautik, and I completely resonate with what Neha has said. And before I talk, give my opening statement, I can definitely, since I'm coming from Surat, I know the kind of potential that Surat holds. And just to tell you the story, I think on 20th of December only, cash prepayment is coming to Surat. So we are hosting one event. We definitely understand the business over there, what kind of opportunity we can have over there. So we are definitely coming over there. Coming to the specific digital marketing question, I completely resonate with what Neha has already said. Only a few things I wanted to add into that is initially when I was used to work in the B2C setup, I used to think that B2B marketing will mostly can be done with P2P person to person kind of connection. Then still we use some offline channels as well, but now our major focus is also going towards online channel. So I can say at cash free payments if we say 70% we are focusing completely on the digital channel, but 30% is still we are going after the offline channel. And only thing I want to add is communication, that how effectively via all this digital platform, all this digital channel, how we can communicate whatever our USP is to our end merchant and users. That is very very important to us. First, definitely, targeting the right customer, understanding their pain points, and ultimately communicating the benefits in a much better way. So I think yes, that is where we are also feeling that whether it is B2B or B2C, nowadays digital marketing is important for all of us.
Great to know, Varun, that you are very much aware about the city. And
Yeah.
yes, B2B and B2C. And normally, so many times we keep talking about that from where the hell this word B2C came,
Yeah.
in the existence, because we normally used to talk a lot about e-commerce 20 years back, and all of a
Right.
sudden we started talking about D2C. But this is, I think, the beauty of this industry, that you never know that what is the actual source, but then we all start using those things, and I think that is the beauty of this industry. Well, so we
Yeah.
have, I think, lost Deepali due to some technical reason. But by the time she joins us back, I think we can proceed with our formal questions and answers. So, yes, Neha, we are going to start from you. And this is related to your experience, your current consulting project with Exasia. Uh, because what Varun also has said, that it is comparatively, this is what people assume, right? That it is comparatively easy to run a successful e-commerce campaign, right? You are very much comfortable when it comes to the meta ad campaign. So even in terms of the Google ad campaigns, if you have an e-commerce setup to generate the conversion. But what has been your experience generating the leads for the B2B services? That is one of the questions. And how satisfied are you with the conversion rate whenever you have worked with your team in the past, or maybe in the recent time, compared to the traditional way of lead generation? Because normally we see that B2B organizations, they participate a lot in the trade fairs globally, and they generate quite a good handful of business as well. So how do you see both these things? Number one, the lead generation, how much it is easy or difficult on digital ad campaigns? And second question is, you compare it with the traditional way of generating lead. How do you see both the things?
Sure, Bhautik. Very well put together and very thought through questions, I would say. Bhautik, I would want to stress upon the customer life cycle here. We have to think about customer life cycle in the B2B environment. It is long hauled. It is not a short impulse buying cycle like it could be in a D2C setup where you could probably just go to a portal and make a purchase. Think of it, retail media networks like those of, say, Reliance or like that of Amazon have become really big now on e commerce. And they have a set formula, algorithmic formula to it to crack it. So you are right. It's very much organized, it's very well thought through technically. And that's why, because of the short span of consumer decision making as well, it is really easy for the consumer to for the consumer to make the purchase. But a B2B life cycle is long haul. Are you there, Bhautik? Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are here for you.
Yeah. So it like the B2B
So
is
the
long
spotlight
haul.
is on you. Spotlight is on you.
Yeah,
So not an
and
issue.
where should everybody go? So I believe personally, because of the long haul customer life cycle and decision making that is required in B2B, it is very important to drive influence. And then where does the influence comes from? The influence comes from your end consumer. Any business that you are doing, like for example, let me talk about real estate. When you're thinking real estate, any business that you are doing is, while you might be interacting with developers, but who's going to be the ultimate purchaser? It's going to be the consumer. So as you think conversion, think about how you are building influence on at the end consumer. Is there enough social media presence, both on you, and we are talking Google and Meta here, so is there enough presence on Insta? Is there enough presence on YouTube? For any B2B product that goes to a developer in a real estate environment, it could be, say, a building material, it could be a plywood, it could be a tile, it could be a paint. But if it is going to the developer is ultimately influenced by the consumer demands. What are those consumer demands? So you need to think through the life cycle of both the product, the life cycle of the B2B purchase, and your end customer, as well as the end customer of your end customer. So that's how the campaign would work out. On conversion part, like because it is long haul, you can't attribute it directly to digital sales like you can do in a D2C environment. So that's one reality that B2B marketers need to work with. They get a pool of leads, but the ultimate conversion and the conversion mapping and the cost to conversion has to be with that long haul cycle. Does that clarify?
Yes. May I just want to add a little more into it because your answer is very interesting and you emphasized a lot on customer life cycle and you say that you have to not only see to the customer but the customers as well. So very briefly and connecting to this question, so I just wanted to continue with the same question. How do you do data analysis in terms of understanding whom to target and whom not to target, or when to target and when not to target. So, any light if you can throw on this aspect, data analysis.
Yes, absolutely. So when we look at audiences, and let's talk about audiences here, which are business audiences on Google or Meta. That's when you are able to select and pick up your audiences. Once you build a stronger database, you are able to pick up lookalike audiences as well, the LAL, right? So that's the standard way of operating data-driven campaigns. When to target, when not to target, you have to understand the business's lean period versus the business's strong period, and create your campaign calendar, your marketing plan accordingly. Who to target, who not to target, we discussed about. But I think with the power of acquiring leads, it is really important to then build affinity audiences out of it. If you keep sitting on those leads and
Correct.
using them for calling business, then it doesn't help. We have to build it from affinity perspective too.
Mm, great. Yes, absolutely right. The perspective is very important. Thank you so much, Neha. And let us shift to Varun. So, Varun, I think this might have come across this question so many times in front of you, maybe from your customers, or from your other clients, or from the other industry people. So normally we have seen that brands select payment gateway just to increase the buyer's ease of use, right? Because now we see that there's so many payment gateways available in the market, and normally even the businesses they opt for the platform that not only provide ease to them for the integration and the easy, rather the smooth way of doing the payment exercises, but also they check that how users are going to find it very easy in terms of using the platform. and
Right.
the trust is very important factor, right? Trust is also very important factor. So, like with more conversions, obviously it's going to encourage the customers to spend more budget on the ad campaigns. So, in terms of your brand, obviously cash-free payments and your clients' experiences that you have seen over the period of time. What are your inputs for optimizing ad campaigns to reduce customer acquisition cost?
Thanks, Bhautik. I think first of all, when any customer is choosing a payment gateway, few things they definitely consider. First is definitely safety, because
Correct.
ultimately customer is you are the gatekeeper of whatever money they are getting of the end consumer. So the safety
True.
is definitely one. Second thing is the compliance side of thing, that any payment gateway when I am choosing, whether that payment gateway is fully licensed or not, because RBI, in I can say in last 5 to 6 years, they are keeping very keen eye on each and every player, specifically in the fintech ecosystem. Even if you're
Yeah.
doing one or two small little
Yes.
glitches, you are going to get very much screwed by the RBI. So
Absolutely.
this is the knowledge which end consumer is also aware about. So they also want to see that
Hmm.
from the compliance point of view, you should have all the licenses with you. And definitely third point, as you
Hmm.
rightly mentioned, that ultimately when I am integrating this payment gateway, two aspect over there. One,
Hmm.
how easy it is for my developer and my team to integrate into my product, and ultimately how easy it is for the end consumer to make a payment on particular checkout screen.
Hmm.
So these
Hmm.
are the pointers they first look about. Secondly, about optimizing and reduce the customer acquisition cost. So few of the things that we uh, look at it is, first is precise targeting. I think what Neha is
Hmm.
also touched upon. First one
Hmm.
is definitely precise targeting. Second one is how effectively we are putting up the message out there. you know
Correct.
if we are doing it on let's say Meta or even Google platform like YouTube or anywhere, whatever
Hmm.
creatives we are doing or video we are doing, the message has to come out very straightforward. It has to be very clear. And third is
Correct.
definitely operational efficiency. So if I talk about the first one, precise targeting, one of the better thing that happened with cash free is we are in this business from last 5 to 6 years. So
Yes.
we already have our first party data. So
Hmm.
when I say first party data is already what kind of customers we want to target, they are already working with us. So we use this
Hmm.
first party data to create a lookalike audience, both on Google and Meta platform. So for example, if specific segment of e-commerce merchants, we are thinking that we want to go after because they converts well, we replicate their characteristics to target similar businesses. This definitely
Hmm.
improves
Hmm.
our likelihood of the end conversion.
Hmm.
Ultimately, we also go for segmentation based on geography, industry, behavior, ensures personalized messaging as well. Second thing, as I already mentioned, work on the messaging right. You know,
Right.
so creatively, your ad should directly address the user pain points. So, for example, if I
Yes.
talk about cash free and what any e-commerce merchant is currently facing, so I will tell them that cash free payment gateway reduces your cart abandonment, right? Or
Hmm.
it can improve your transaction success rate. So now this was
Right.
their pain point, and I'm directly talking about that. There are hundreds
Hmm.
of other features that cash free payment gateway is providing. But for this
Hmm.
particular merchant, what matters is how can I improve the transaction success rate? Because
Hmm.
definitely that will directly impact his or her business. And
Hmm.
ultimately, when I say operation efficiency, there are certain elements like ones from the platform like Google or Meta. After
Hmm.
looking at your advertisement, once they are interacting with your product, they will definitely
Hmm.
come to your application or your landing page. Your landing page should mimic exactly same pain points that you talked about in the advertisement,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
Based on that, you will have a higher likelihood of conversion. And ultimately, when you are in B2B business, one of the very important thing is operation efficiency with your sales team as well.
Hmm.
With fintech company, there are multiple teams like sales team, compliance team.
Hmm.
So the entire journey, entire life cycle is very long. It usually
Hmm.
takes us 7 to 10 days to activate one merchant on the payment gateway, because there are so many
Hmm.
legal documents also that we require. So if we
Hmm.
have a proper operational efficiency, all the attribution, everything is, the entire funnel is perfect, That will also help other team as well. And ultimately, you can show better conversion. And if once you are showing the better conversion, your CSC also you can adjust accordingly. So I think for us, these three are very important: precise targeting, uh, right messaging, and ultimately operational efficiency. I hope that answers your question.
Once very, very, very well explained. But at the same time, one thing that has all of a sudden, got a new question in my mind, because you said that, that obviously in the e-commerce segment, you see that the cart abandon is very common. So I just want to understand, or I just want this, thing to know from your side that did you find such clients who asks you for the tip that how to do the remarketing so that they can once again target the people who have abandoned the cart? Do they see to you as a, or maybe your team obviously, as a problem solver who can help them get more customers who step their journey from the cart itself? So if any such experiences happen with you.
Yeah, very rare, I would say, because luckily for us, the kind of merchant we works with, they understand that the payment gateway is what for what purpose we are using this payment gateway. But yes, definitely they will come to us and they will say, here, how we can, make sure that success rate is not going down. If there is anything that from their side they can do. And definitely, one thing I can tell you is from cart amendment side, return and everything. Nowadays, companies are also focusing on the smart checkout feature, which company like Cashfree and also other companies in the same domain are also working on. So that is also helping the end merchant. So earlier, when cart amendment is happen or RTO is one of the huge burden for any e-commerce merchant. All those things nowadays are taken care by the smart checkout companies. And the likes of Cashfree is providing both the things. We are handling your payments as well, and we also have this smart checkout feature as well. So most of the times we ask them to try out these features, and for many D2C merchants, I think this has been a game changer as well.
This is so interesting job that you people are doing, I must say. Well, so the team is continuously in connection with Deepali, and still there is a technical issue persistent with. But yes, we can continue with our discussion, Neha, because we were talking about the user experience. In your first question, also you talked a lot about that, and recently Varun also talked about it is very important to check the user experience. So the question is something that, in your experience, or any kind of project where you have worked as a consultant, how do you integrate this user experience insights into the planning and execution of the upcoming campaigns, right? And if any specific KPIs that you normally focus on, specifically in the B2B industry segment to target for the next campaigns.
Sure. So I think user experience is equally critical in B2C and B2B environments. I have also worked with brands like PepsiCo. I have worked with brands like J&J, Abbott. And here as well, the user experience becomes critical when you are giving away any kind of information about your product. Like think of your product. Your product is your hero. Whatever information you're sharing about your product in a B2B or B2C environment is critical. When you talk about brands like, say Neutrogena, or for that matter Pediasure, or for that matter Pepsi, that user experience is even more critical on retail media networks. So how are your product detail pages in the right shape? Do they have all the details about the product? Do they have the right pictures? Do they have the right videos, etc., etc.? A little bit more simplistic, it could be, summified in four or five matrix, which is scanner. That's how, most of the FMCG folks or retail and consumer goods folks evaluate it. So it's share of search, content, assortment or availability, navigation, how are you able to reach to the exact direct page, and then reviews become critical too for the user experience. Simplistic in a environment where you are selling a product directly to the consumer. Now come to B2B. Let's come to B2B. Here in a B2B environment, you might be selling a service, you might be selling an intangible product, you might be selling something that someone needs to experience. right? So an experiential product. Now, when in this B2B environment, in these three cases, it is very important that wherever your consumer is for the first time coming to has a lot of inputs in terms of giving them the right kind of information. So this right kind of information could be about a very basic simplistic video or a demo, or it could be about just taking in the details or asking the questions that the consumer needs to get addressed through your product and understanding the consumer profile. So there's a lot of give and take in the user experience section, right? This is what actually engages the consumer. In a B2B environment, it's therefore very critical that the consumer spends time on your website, right? So, time spent is therefore, in a B2B environment, a very critical factor to evaluate. Controlling your bounce rates is also super critical, because unless and until you're building engaging content in your user experience, the consumer would bounce back and would never come back to then go through those details. Now, user experience, this is all online that we are talking about because we are talking digital here, but there's an offline user experience as well, right? When your salesperson goes and gives a proper demo, what are the digital tools that you can use at that point of time? Is some kind of augmented reality possible? Can you create a demo of your product that actually gives the experience to the end customer to make the final decision of purchase? So those are the end factors that we would need to consider. So in terms of KPIs, just to address your question from a KPI perspective, I would, from a digital perspective, look at time spent of the website, leads generated. So we would call that actually a lead conversion, because once a person submits their data, they are an engaged audience, or you could reach out to them. So sharing of your contact details, that would be called a conversion. Those two key critical KPIs.
Good. Now you said that online consumer experience is very important, and the same thing we need to take care from the sales team side as well. It's not only
Correct.
about the online experience, but the ground level actual experience is very important. Now, a question that triggered in my mind when you were explaining this thing, that because you have worked with the different brands globally, uh, have you ever observed that the online consumer behavior, the change in the online consumer behavior in one continent to the another continent, or maybe from one country to another country? Because normally, see in India, when you run any ad campaign, as far as B2B is concerned, then if you get the phone call, you get the phone number, and then somebody from your team will call them back to fix an appointment. They'll say that, oh yes, we have done that, but now we are no more interested in that. So it's a very common thing that we have seen. So
Drop-offs, right?
any specific behavior that you observed in a different part of the world, please share.
Sure. So I guess the inclination to pursue products when it comes to industry also differs, not just location but industry. In India, you are right. We have um, a a considerably higher and steeper rate of dropouts than you would say in a Southeast Asia. Why is that? Because the advertising is much more targeted. One, uh, the advertising has evolved digitally in that part of the world. There's a lot of customization at scale, right? So you would pick your audiences, you would customize your content according to them. So your drop off rates would automatically go down, right? Once you are customizing your content to, then you will not get unnecessary leads who are just interested in education or just interested in information. Once your content starts speaking the language of the audiences or the target group, then that is when you start getting relevant leads, especially in B2B. And here I could take the example of Glucerna. For example, Glucerna is a pre-diabetic drink that diabetics use for controlling their sugar level,
Right.
and it is targeted across Southeast Asia, and also targeted across healthcare providers, HCPs. So once you get the HCP lead, it is very critical to crack it, because that HCP is then going to recommend it to the rest of the consumers, and that HCP is actually your influencer. So your content will then differ to an exact consumer where you're trying to get a lead, versus to an HCP, which is a professional person who knows what diabetes is. You need to give a lot more technical information to that person for them to share that their data with you. So I
True.
would say customization of the kind of targeting that you do is very critical.
Ah, interesting. Interesting. Okay, thank you so much, Neha. Before I get back to you for the next question, I have a question for Varun and obviously his team. So, Varun, we are seeing that a lot of now the competition among the different ad platforms. Few years back, we used to see that there was Facebook, and before that, Google. Then Facebook acquired Instagram. Now we are seeing it's a Meta. At the same time, we are seeing that LinkedIn has all of a sudden become so aggressive. From last couple of days or a week or so, I'm seeing that Taboola is becoming so aggressive in terms of, you know, uh, uh, maybe attracting the more advertisers on that platform. OTT platforms have started becoming so aggressive, specifically Geo. They have started pushing for the upcoming IPL. So we have the clutter. Now the thing is that the new advertisers, the newcomers in the industry, they are very much confused. But when again it comes to a small business owners, they're very happy with spending few bucks on WhatsApp boost and WhatsApp promotion or Facebook boost. Still, yes,
Right.
people do just that. Now, my question in this regard to you is that, as obviously as far as your experience, given the different audience dynamics on Google and Meta, how do you take advantage of both these platforms and other than this platform as well? I think LinkedIn might be your company's
Right.
top platforms. This is what I'm assuming right now. And
Exactly.
what you people think and how do you strategize considering all these platforms together?
Right. So at Cash Free, what we have recognized that all this platform, let's first take example of Google and Meta. So every platform for us serve different purpose in the user journey when we talk about. So we say that Google act as a pull platform for us. So it will capture the users who are actively searching for the solution. So for example, anyone is searching for best payment gateway for e-commerce or best payment gateway for your SaaS solution, that is showing the high intent. So we run those kind of advertisement, search campaigns targeting this kind of keywords. This will directly link to your landing pages. We also do some kind of display advertisement over there. So currently we are using Google as a conversion platform mostly, you know, whereas Meta, on the other hand, we can call it a push platform. So it is ideal for spreading awareness and consideration campaigns. So, for example, recently, if you've seen, we have roped in Rajkumar Rao as a brand ambassador of Cash Free. So now, this kind of advertisement to showcase that Cash Free is making waves in the industry with our new tagline, new motto, and everything. So for that, we are using Meta uh, for those spreading awareness and consideration kind of thing. So, and our strategy mostly ensures the synergies between all these platforms. So, for example, let's say we are currently running advertisement on YouTube as well. So, if a user see a video ad on Meta highlighting how cash free helps subscription business and manage recurring payments, we will make sure that we will retarget them using Google as well, and vice versa. All right. So this is mainly how we are differentiating between each and every platform. Coming to the later part, yes, LinkedIn is something from at least I can say 1 to 1.5 year is our main focus, because what we understood was on LinkedIn we can do more targeted campaigns through LinkedIn
Correct.
emails, LinkedIn targeted advertisement and everything. And
Yes.
with product like us in fintech ecosystem, there is not only there is multiple decision maker that
Yeah.
I would like to say. So, for example, from project manager or PM, program manager, to CRO, CFO, compliance team, legal team, everybody will come together. So now
True.
you have to make sure that you are targeting the right person in any company, and over there, LinkedIn is becoming very, very fruitful for us.
Right.
Recently, one interesting thing we did last week only, that we after this once we onboarded Rajkumar Rao as a brand ambassador, we wanted to do some very targeted advertisement. For that, we used a community tool called MyGate, if you are aware about
Yeah.
it.
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah, so on MyGate also, we pick and choose that these are the societies. Over there we can find some techies, will mostly live there. So we use MyGate as well for advertisement, and at the same time in shorts as well. So now ultimately what I can say is, there are so many different platforms, as you rightly mentioned, that OTT platform are also there. So ultimately you need to decide that what is the platform where you can find your best audience. And secondly, every platform will serve the different purpose, so you need to make sure that for what purpose we are using that particular platform.
Varun, before I ask a small question connecting to this question, I just want to share that few days back I was, on Snapchat. I've seen that Adivasi hair oil. They are
Right.
running a great campaigns on Snapchat,
Yes.
and they have a good brand ambassadors. They had
Hmm.
Khali and Kiku Sharda and Krishna from
Right.
Kapil Sharma shows, and they're literally spending a huge amount of money not only to hire these people as an influencers, but then they're targeting people. Very, I couldn't understand that why, number one, why they've chosen Snapchat, and number two, why they're targeting me when I'm already 40 plus. Why they're targeting me on Snapchat? So
Right.
the things are somewhere I that is out of my mind. So any such experience with you as a user rather than as a marketer, have you seen any such thing that have said, why this?
Yeah, definitely. I think nowadays, as I already mentioned, on platform like MyGate or InShots also, you will see some kind of advertisement which is exactly non-relevant to you. But over there, I just being the devil's advocate from the brand perspective also, I would say that with this kind of platform, they are not mature like, let's say, Google or LinkedIn or Meta. you know so sometimes, since they don't have that kind of rich data, so it is like shooting arrow in the dark. So they also want to say that, okay, we have this many millions of users, let's try. All right, and we will see that how ultimately we can convert. But the beauty of LinkedIn and all other platform is they have a huge rich data, and you can segment accordingly. And I don't think in new age platforms, till date it is possible. But right now I can see that on Geo also, when you go to Geo cinema, they are also asking your age, your birth date, your gender, and everything. You will
Yes,
realize
yes,
that,
yes.
why to see any show, why you're asking me all these questions? But ultimately it is for this advertisement purpose.
They, they asked me, do you own a bicycle? I said, why you are asking me that I own a bicycle? If I
those
own a bicycle
random
for my
questions,
son, what should I say? Yes or no?
those random
Great,
questions are
great.
continuously popping up in Geo Cinema, and suddenly we feel
Yes.
like, why they're asking this question? But ultimately, on back end, they are building their entire advertisement portfolio. Ultimately,
Great insights. Thank you so much. Varun, Neha, because we were discussing a lot about these campaigns and now the different ad platforms, so we are going in a very right direction. So, connecting to this, how do you decide when you work with your clients as a consultant? What kind of things you have in your mind when you need to guide to your team or your client's team on deciding on the campaign budget? Because we understand the budget is again a very crucial thing. So many clients, they are always with a big question mark: what should we spend, how much we should spend on the ad budgets. So number one, how do you decide on that? And another thing is, how to decide on the success or failure of post campaign. So it is all about lead generation. If it is B2B, it is all about sales. If it is e-commerce, so is there any other thing that, even if the conversions are not happening in terms of lead generation or sales, still, if you want to consider that it was reasonably a good successful campaign, so what it should be, what KPI it should be that other advertisers should also focus other than the conversion?
Got it. Got it. Thank you. Bhautik, I would say when we think of KPIs per se, like determining success, the starting point is the budget, right, and the return on the investment. So, what is your CPL in a B2B environment is very critical. And then you would compare it across platforms, that where is your CPL high versus where is your CPL low. But one thing that marketers shouldn't be myopic about is just the CPL, because the relevancy of leads is also equally critical. Where is your end conversion happening? Which channel is giving you the end conversion is
Correct.
super critical, right? So tracking that journey, making sure and understanding what is the actual cost to conversions. So because it would be a lot more than just your CPL. And what is the long haul time that it is taking to reach to a point where your customer actually converts? That is the whole set of investment you should consider. Also considering the time factor, and that becomes critical. Now, what would you that's your B2B. I think e-commerce, you well mentioned that it is sales.
Hmm. Hmm.
When we talk about more awareness generating campaigns, I would say it is also about reach, which while working at FMCG was very critical for us. So it is really, really important to have the right kind of reach when you are talking big brands like Pepsi or Pediasure or Nutrition, right? So it becomes super critical. And then, go ahead, go ahead. You want to say
No,
something?
no, no. Please complete.
And then coming back to B2B, if suppose your campaign is not generating leads, but it is generating awareness, it's equally important. So, any kind of campaign that could give you user generated content, reposts, reviews, testimonials, these are also critical aspects in establishing the authenticity of a business. And therefore, these are the qualitative KPIs that should be tracked as well. So that's my complete answer.
Now, what has been recently, what has been your go-to platform for the various projects that you have worked? First, your go-to ad platform for B2B, and second, for any non B2B companies, businesses, clients, if you have worked, your go-to ad platform.
Okay. Um, I would keep this short. Like for B2B, it is primarily Meta, and Meta is giving good results, very good results actually. And for B2C, which I'm talking about general bigger brands, you would see they would rely a lot on the whole GDN. So the whole Google network, right? Including YouTube, discovery ads, search, that whole package of it really works. So that would be my focus of investment, or my focus as a media planner when I do bigger brands.
So I think their performance max campaign is something that even Google is pushing a lot, and I
Yeah.
think this is what mostly the most of the advertisers now have started spending on performance max campaign. I agree to your, but this is very interesting that for B2B you have said better. And I think I got one question from the viewer that I'll ask after 5 to 7 minutes to you, because I think that this will connect with your this answer. So guys, now we are going to the last section of the session, and the one question to both of you, and then I'll see to the questions that I'm getting from the audience. I'll put in front of you. So, Varun, the last question to you formally is, because cash free works with a diverse industry, right? And how do you see the confidence of these brands, the clients with you have worked as a representative of your own company in spending their budget on Google and Meta ads? So, what has been your learning? So, anything and anything that you have learned by working with the brands in terms of the ad campaigns.
So I think, as you already mentioned, that we work with different industries like from e-commerce, SaaS, fintech, education, and currently their confidence on any ad platform, if you talk about Google, Meta, or any other platform, influenced by what kind of goals they want to achieve and the industry dynamic. So, for example, if we say in e-commerce brand, you know, you will see e-commerce or D2C brand and all these small stores, they are very confident, because as they see all these platforms are delivering measurable ROI. So any clothing retailer or any perfume brands nowadays, they are very famous on all these platforms. They can directly see the ROI on this platform. But when we specifically talk about B2B industry, where, as Neha earlier mentioned, that the sales cycles are very, very longer, so confidence can be lower initially due to indirect attribution. But I think over the time, they also realize that it won't be as simple as any e-commerce company, So in this kind of cases, we have learned that importance of educating brands on multi-touch attribution and and assisted conversions. uh, we have to show them that how all this awareness campaign on one platform can help you retarget on the other platforms as well, right? So our learnings has been that make sure that they are working on tailor-made strategies, for each and every platform nowadays. And yes, it will take some time for B2B audience. I don't think I shouldn't say it will take time, because B2B are also spending the same amount like B2C audience right now as well. But ultimately, it's up to that what kind of ROI they can drive through using these various channels.
Agree. Absolutely agree with your point, Varun. And now going to the last patient, yeah, and I'll connect one another patient coming from the audience. So the former question is, because you said that Meta is your go-to platform and it has helped you a lot even in the B2B lead generation. So is there any case that comes in your mind where an innovative ad campaign has led to significant conversions or any customer user engagement in the current organization Axasia where you are giving your service or for any other brand? So number one question is the innovation part. And to connect another question with the same what I got from Sneh Punjabi, she is interested to know from you only that she want to ask the ad campaign also includes a creative part and what the creative part can be in B2B campaigns. So innovation and creativity.
That's amazing. Good connectivity here. Thanks, Bhautik. So what I have seen is that we underestimate the power of content in a B2B setup, right? You would start running basic lead generation campaigns without thinking through how is your funnel rolling in, right? And actually, uh, and he also talked about it, Varun also talked about it, that how you have to build a funnel ultimately. So even for a B2B organization, the upper funnel is important, and therefore content generation is important. Now your content generation might not be in a typical B2C way. You might not have a big brand idea, and you might not do spend a lot of money to build that kind of video, or shots of that video. But you could work with users, right? User generated content is the most authentic way to create content going forward, and that's what worked for Acacia. During Diwali, we did a campaign bringing in user generated content, um, both in surroundings where Acacia products could be used, so office surroundings and home surroundings. And these were the users who were talking about their journey on using sustainable products. And this campaign actually garnered a lot of interest, likes, shares. And ultimately, while you cannot do a last touch attribution, but you could see the number of leads growing organically, and your lead generation campaigns giving better results, your cost per lead going down, because there is an awareness. Once you start generating awareness about your product, people are not so skeptical about giving away their data. Let's understand, data is money in this world. So basically, people hold it close to them. It's dear to them, right? So you have to be convincing, authentic enough to get that data out of them. To answer Sneha's question, how could you be creative with your business when it is a B2B business? Like I said, work with your clients, work with your customers, get their testimonials, do some nice user generated content, be very active about even your office life on Insta. Share a lot. What is the behind the scenes story? Those are the kind of things that will build authenticity around your brand and then ultimately lead to lead generation.
So Neha, you are putting a lot of pressure on the HR people in all the companies. They want their people to dance on everything. They want every male to become Arjun, Allu Arjun, and every female to become Rashmika Mandanna.
I think IVP is already driving that change.
By the way, as an agency, we do a lot, and whenever you get time, you can go and check iWitness social media profile. I think you guys are going to know what thing. And yes, because we didn't touch this topic of AI, but we try to use AI a lot in terms of the content creation. So that has worked for us as far as मैं भी कुछ बोल ही लेता हूँ. That has worked for us as well, the use of the AI.
Yes.
So, yeah, your answer is triggering so many people to all of the sudden ask the question. But two questions are very similar in the nature. So again, the Sneh is continuing with her question and Ashish. Both have the question related to the clutter. And I think both of you would agree, specifically when you see Meta altogether, uh, there are so many advertisers. Unlike Google, Meta, I personally feel that they lack the placement, right? They do not have that the kind of options that Google has, and that was the reason that Google came up with the performance max option. So, what's your take? Any of you can answer. I think Neha and Varun, you both. That when it comes to the clutter, does it really bother? Or again, the answer is same that you be creative and you can still you can come out of that clutter and you can
You
say
know,
that hey, I'm here.
I'm a FMCG marketer at heart, Bhautik. So my focus lies on creativity, and I think that's why the campaigns that I'm doing on Meta are working well because this is a thumb rule you learn, right? When you start working in FMCG firms, the first thing you are taught by your boss is build the funnel, right? So reach, consideration, and then finally lead generation, and then finally conversion, right? That is the cycle. So that is ingrained through thoroughly in FMCG and retail marketers, that's the principle we go by. And I have seen it works in a B2B environment as well. You build awareness, you be creative. The only way to break through clutter is creativity. It is targeted messaging. It is customization of at scale. So, for example, let's think Acacia. You would not target someone who's in procurement in the same way as you will target an architect. An architect needs more aesthetic appeal, while a procurement guy needs, facts, strong numbers. So your content will change the moment you start customizing your content according to your audiences, and this is what is called customization at scale. That's where you will start seeing your meta ads performing. That's where you will start seeing that when you do creative content, which you're doing for like both office as well as home spaces, maybe even retail, then you will start seeing that you are engaging different audiences in the right manner. It also goes in your media planning, how you are targeting them, right? You cannot be building one shoe fits all content and
Sure.
target it across audience.
Absolutely, I agree with your point. And yes, so creativity is at the core. So there are so many other questions. I think Malay asked about the awareness of the company and awareness of the product, which platform could be beneficial. I think Malay, we have covered that question. If you can rewind lately on the YouTube, and you are going to find your answer. Or the Varisha is asking that how can businesses measure the efficiency and effectiveness of that conversion strategy? I think Neha only has answered about this in terms of when she was answering about the KPI. Yes, I think Varun, we can take this last question. I think you are the right person to answer. The question is from Tisha. Tisha's question is something that what I want to put in a different manner, because we see that so many small business owners, the homemakers, even now they want to do something online, but they do not have that kind of budget to build their own website. So they opt for the marketplaces, right? In terms of
Right.
B2C, they go for Amazon, Flipkart, and the kind of platform. For B2B, most of the we have seen here in Surat that so many people have spent a huge amount of money on Trade India and India Mart, even Alibaba.com. So, what has
Right.
been your experiences, like own website versus marketplace? What would be your point for any business owners for the long term vision of the business?
I can first share my personal experience. So when we launched our first product out of Surat only, it was a SaaS product, Icon Scout. At that time also, we were running our own website. Little different product, but still we started with our own website. But when it comes to scale, we quickly realized that we also have to partner with different companies. We partnered with Adobe, we partnered with Microsoft, we partnered with Google, Figma, Canva, all of them. Now, how it helped us was those companies has millions and billions of users. And on their marketplace, we were kind of one of the seller that they can easily integrate. So for entire scale purpose, that helped us immensely. And similar thing nowadays we are also seeing with so many of the D2C merchants which are working with cash free also. They definitely want to have their own website, own brand identity, and everything. But trust me, the kind of money other brands are making only on quick commerce, with only Swiggy, Instamart, or Blinkit, or Zeptos of the world, they are making tenfolds to that to those own website. Yes, on the business front, it will definitely hit you like, okay, I'm giving some kind of revenue share to these platforms. But what worrying that? Because ultimately, what you want to do as a business owner is to reach to maximum number of people. And I have seen so many companies, they start with these marketplaces like Amazon's, Flipkarts, and everything. They will also move to quick commerce like so Zepto, Blinkit, Swiggy, Instamart. Now, they will also have their own store as well.
Right.
If you have those kind of capability within your team, you can be available everywhere. So I
So
don't
you
think there
want
is
to say
any
that holistic approach is
holistic approach is
advisable.
something you should, yeah, is something you should be doing, because Zepto and Blinkit or Swiggy, Instamart will be doing uh, campaigning for you. They are spending huge money on marketing for you only. So ultimately for you is focus on your product. Try to be visible on this platform, because there are thousands and millions other products like you as well. But yes, I don't see any problem in working on multi channels.
Good answer, Varun. Thank you so much, Varun. Thank you so much, Neha. And unfortunately, we could not connect with Deepali once again. But yeah, the best part was we could take advantage of this entire 1 hour discussion with you two only. And I think not only right now, but lately also when the people are going to see this again and again, I think they are going to get a lot many information. It is very crucial and very important because, as I said earlier before starting this panel, that the digital is literally changing right now, and everybody has a lot of expectation from all the digital platforms. At the same time, the right approach is very important, the knowledge of the industry is very important, and you need to, what I say in to everyone whom I meet, that this is the industry where you need to learn, then unlearn, and then relearn. So, as Neha said in the past, that one size head does not fit all. That is the correct thing. If you can get the successful result on one platform or for one client or one brand, maybe you cannot implement the same strategy for the another brand. So I think Rishma, if you can come forward and you can share the word of thanks, please.
Thank you so much, Bhautik. I think thank you, Varun and Neha. I was listening all time and it was all quality discussion. The 1 hour was all about, मतलब हमने कोई भी ऐसा पेज नहीं छोड़ा अनटर्न के, हमने हर चीज पे एक अपना स्टेक रखा है. B2B हो, B2C हो, क्रिएटिव पार्ट हो, कैंपेन्स में हर एक चीज कितनी इंपॉर्टेंट. आई थिंक आई लव द पॉइंट नेहा पुट ऑन दैट. वो जो स्केल चाहिए एक एड हम जब करते हैं उसमें कितनी सारी डिटेलिंग में वो जो स्केल हमें देखनी रहती है. आई लव दैट पॉइंट. थैंक यू सो मच नेहा. थैंक यू सो मच वरुण for joining us and giving us your time here. Of course, from the organizing committee, I will officially thank the technical team too, our supporting partners for their unwavering support, and most importantly, our attendees who have been here from last 1 hour, and their enthusiasm has made the event a success. We hope that we'll see you again for the 8th digital marketing day. So happy digital marketing day to all of you, and hope we'll continue this further. Thank you so much. Have a great
Thank you
evening.
so much.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Reshma.
much, Varun. Thank you so much, Neha, and hope to see both of you soon in person. Thank you so much. Bye
Sure.
bye and take
Thank you
care.
so much. Take care.
Bye.